I don't even know what day of the work, what day it is anymore. Oh, heavens. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 60 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafty shenanigans. Today is Saturday, April the 17th, 2021, and we have a nice day today. Looks like it might be a rainstorm coming in later. There's some really dark clouds that away, which is north. I'm not a geography person. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what I'm up to. So today I have a little bit of knitting to show you and another crafting project that I've been working on a little bit this week. I've only worked on one knitting project this week. That's it. That's all it's been. But they're done. These are my Sock Madness 5 round 2 socks. They are called All the Bees by Knit Joys, and they're done. I knit like a fiend. I really did. My hands are still, to be honest, my hands are still a little bit achy from this. But I made it through to round 3. I wasn't sure if I was going to. There were, for each of the teams in Sock Madness in round 2, 40 will make it through until round 3. So our team, or the team that I'm on, either we're a really fast team or we are a team that is able to devote a lot of time each week or each round to knitting. Our team was the second team to fill. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. There's 26 teams. Ours was the second one to get 40 people finished. That's crazy. I don't know if I'm going to make it through round 3. We'll see. I wasn't sure if I'd make it through round 2, but I did. I was number 36 to cross the line and take the 36th spot on my team. So there were a lot in our team that knit quickly. And this was not a fast knit. This pattern was really beautifully detailed. It has beads, and as I mentioned last week, I forget exactly how much I had done last week. I think I had part of the beading done on one leg and the cuff on the other one. I can't quite remember where I was last Saturday. But there's beads along the cuff, and then it goes into this really pretty beaded design with little 1x1 crosses and cables. There's a few little baubles in here. There's some brioche down the side here, and beads. So all the bees. I'm going to put this onto my sock mannequin so you can see the beading a little bit more clearly. So just hang tight, I'll be back in a second. You might not want to watch me try to wrestle this under control. But then I appear to continue to talk while I'm doing this. So there we go. We have what it looks like on a foot mannequin. Just making sure it's kind of lined up. sort of. So you can see how the beading detail is. They're so pretty. This was such a pretty sock. Pretty details along the heel flap. Pretty details down the front of the foot. And surprisingly, this fits. So you can see some of the little baubles. There were other little stitch details in here, but these socks moved, I found, very slowly. It was, for me, a very slow knit, and I think for a lot of people, which is why we are well over a week through the first week of our time window to make these, and there's still a lot of spots open on a lot of teams. There's just so much detail on each and every round. You had to keep track of where you were doing the brioche. You had to keep track of the cables, which direction they were going. You had to slow down to stick a bead on all over the place. There was something like 260 beads on the size medium. And the two colors, mine are blue with the little center is a contrasting yellow. But they're pretty socks. I really did enjoy the knit. Although by the time I was getting to the end, I was really trying to knit as quickly as I could so that I could qualify and so that I could continue on into the next round. So it was a lot of knitting. My hands, as I mentioned, my hands are achy. I finished them on Thursday evening, late in the evening, about 10 o'clock or so. I had them finished. I got the pictures all taken and got it submitted and made it through. So now we wait for round 3. And that can start anywhere after sometime on Wednesday. The teams, as I mentioned, I think in previous weeks, we have, for each round, we have a full 2 weeks or until all the teams are full. So whichever comes first. The speed that people are knitting at this round, I'm suspecting that we will come to the Wednesday afternoon deadline. I think it's at 2:45 or thereabouts Eastern time in the US when we're done. So I'm not sure if round 3 is going to start super quickly after round 2 finishes, or if we're going to have a little bit of a rest in between. We shall see. Just drinking plain ordinary tea today. And that was all I worked on knitting this week. Since I talked to you on Saturday last, I have only worked on the rest of Saturday and all the way up till Thursday night. All I did knitting were my socks until they finished. And then I rested my hands. I haven't touched knitting needles since Thursday night. I didn't knit a stitch of anything on Friday or yet today. And I suspect I'm going to not do any knitting for a couple days yet. I have another project that I'm going to show you in just a couple minutes, which is what I've been working on. I worked on it a little bit a couple weeks ago, and I picked it up again, and I'm hoping to get it finished before the next round of socks starts up. I'm over halfway done, and I am hoping to get that finished this week so that it's done. So let me put this out of the way for now. Pop these over here. I got a tag in my shirt that's itching me. or something on the inside of my collar there. So the other thing I have been working on this last while is a quilt. Now, okay, I'm bonking the tripod. Sorry about that. This is a quilt project that has had quite a few hands on it. It is a quilt top. So my mom did the quilt top, the patchworky part of it. I'll show you a better picture of it hopefully next week once it's completely finished. But my mom used a bunch of scrap fabric she had, and I'll explain this part in just a couple minutes. But she did the quilt top, and then I took the quilt, she mailed it to me. I helped her get a little bit of stuff done on it, positioning the squares and getting things done up with it. Last time I was home, it's a year and a half ago. Yeah, I haven't been home since last year Christmas, and we wouldn't have worked on it then, so it would have been 2 years ago last summer. So she finished doing the top and mailed it to me, and then I took it into a sewing shop, and there was a lady there who has a long arm quilting machine who I paid her to put the backing on and do the quilting. So she took the top, I bought the batting and the backing fabric, and she used her long arm quilting machine to sew this little, it's called a meander pattern. I didn't know that's what it was until she showed me. But she did this stitching and did the quilting on it. And then she also attached the binding. And let's just get to a part where it's not done yet. So what she does is she has a piece of fabric, a little bit of fabric that you will take, and you will, once that's done, you have to fold it over and pin it down or clip it down. And then you go through and you have to hand stitch the binding to the back of the quilt. And for doing this one, a lot of times people often will use a contrast binding. I just opted for doing the same binding. Correction. I opted to use the same fabric for the backing and the binding. And now what I'm doing now is I've got just regular thread, which you can't see, and the little needle, and I'm hand stitching the backing. Sorry, quilting is not my thing as much. I think it's fun, I think it's neat, I'd like to do more with it, but the terminology doesn't come to me quick and easy, as you can tell. So what I'm doing now, and the only work I've put into this is hand stitching the binding to the backing. And I am over halfway done now. I have one long side complete, one short side complete, and I'm a little ways down the second long side of the quilt. This will fit a double bed. It's not a queen size, it's just it'll fit a double bed, or it'll be nice for a throw on the couch. So I have the rest of the long side to do, and then this much of the other short end. I've just put these clips down so I know where I started. So I did part of the short end already. I started I started here and went around this way. So like I said, I have one long side done, one short side done. The second short side is partly done, and I'm working down the second long side. So I'm hoping I can have this all, oops, where'd my needle go? Sorry. There it is. I just didn't want to have the needle that I'm using to stitch escape on me. So that's the other project I've been working on this week. On Friday morning, I picked this up again, and I've been hand stitching in my spare time on Friday and today, Saturday. So I still have more time today to continue hand stitching, and I'm going to continue doing the hand stitching until that's done. It's like I say, it's over halfway done, and I hope to have it done over the next few days, hopefully by the time the weekend is over. And then once that's done, I'm going to get back to working on my Advent mittens, the little mini mittens, because I'm behind with that again. And I'll get back to working on the sleeves of my Damejakka Loppa sweater. And I'll patiently wait for round 3 to start in Sock Madness so I can get back to the socks. But in the meantime, I'm resting my hands as best I can while just doing hand sewing. It's not, I'm not, I guess, not 100% resting my hands, but I'm not knitting for a few days. So just to give them a little bit of a break. So that's been all I've been working on crafting wise. One knitting project, but a finished object. Hopefully this quilt will be a finished object by next week, but that's a non-knitting project. And that's been my crafting this week. Oh, I have to trim my bangs. They're getting long. So in other news, the hubby and I went and got our vaccines today. First round of vaccines. We go back again on May 15th for the second shot. So we're halfway to being vaccinated. So that's good. And the other thing I wanted to talk about today is, as I promised over the last couple episodes, I'm going to do a small giveaway today. I've hit 100 subscribers. I'm at 109 now. So that's so exciting. And it's also episode 60. So I thought we'll just have a little giveaway. So what I decided to do is I'm going to give away one of the skeins. It'll be one of the ones from the bottom here. I will get a picture of the yarns that are there, and I'm going to give away a skein of my own hand-dyed sock yarn. So it's a fingering weight yarn, 100 grams, and 400 and something odd yards per skein. So I'll give away one of the sock yarn skeins that I dyed myself. And I will insert a picture, and you can choose which skein of yarn, the winner can choose which skein of yarn they would like. And as another part of that prize, the winner can also select one of my knitting design patterns that I have for sale on Ravelry. So I will post there will be a link down in the description bar below, and it'll give you a link to my Ravelry page or my designer page, so you'll be able to choose one of the patterns, whether it's a sock pattern. A lot of my patterns are sock patterns, but you can choose any of the patterns I have for sale. And you can, whoever wins, I will draw the winner next Saturday. Whoever wins, I will have you get in touch with me through my email that's in my information on the YouTube page. I'll have you get a hold of me, send me your information, and let me know which yarn you want and which pattern you want. So to enter the giveaway, I'm asking only a few things. It's open internationally. You can be anywhere in the world. It's no restrictions on that. And I'm happy to mail a skein of yarn to anywhere in the world. And I ask for you to just answer down in the comments. So you might answer, what is your favorite thing to knit? And I also ask that you be a subscriber to my channel to be entered into the draw. And that's it. Just be a subscriber. Oh, and like the video. Hit the thumbs up, like the video, be a subscriber, and put a comment down below what your favorite thing to knit is. And then I'll use a random number generator next week, and I'll post the winner. I don't know if I'll do it as part of this video or as a separate video. I'll figure that out next week. So the drawing will be open until next Saturday, so a week today at noon on Saturday, because I usually do my filming in the afternoon. So it'll be open until noon tomorrow, not tomorrow, sorry. It'll be open until noon next Saturday, and you'll be able to enter into the draw. Okay, so, and I will put a link to, or not a link, I'll put a picture of the yarns that are up for selection for the draw. So good luck, everyone, and I thank you all for your support in subscribing to my little channel and following me and keeping track of what I'm doing with my knitting and other crafting things. And I think that's about it. It's a little bit shorter episode today. Yeah, so I wasn't working on much. I didn't have many things to show you. So I will let you go, and I will see you guys again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.